To Karen Reed's trial now and a pivotal afternoon of testimony. WBZ's Christina Rex was in court as a key witness took the stand.
She grabbed my hands and she said, Google hypothermia, Google how long it takes to die in the cold.
The Google search at the center of the defense's case, Jen McCabe says she made after 6 a.m. because Karen Reed told her to. The woman who discovered John O'Keefe's body with Karen told her version of the story Friday, starting with the early morning phone call from Karen.
And she tells me that John didn't come home, they got into a fight, and that she left him at the waterfall.
But that didn't make sense, Jen said. She had seen Karen and John's car outside the 34 Fairview after party. Then on the phone,
she was saying, did I hit him? Could I have hit him? And then she proceeded to say that she had a cracked taillight.
So they went out to search. On the drive, Jen told jurors Karen was hysterical, talking about other women John O'Keefe had dated years prior. As they pulled near the house, Karen screamed, "There he is," and bolted out the car. The three women then discovered O'Keefe's lifeless body on the lawn, covered in snow.
I saw Carrie wiping the snow off of John's face, and I could not believe that that was John laying there.
Still hysterical, the women tried to warm John, performed CPR, and called 911. Once paramedics arrived, Jen McCabe told jurors Karen's words were clear.
3 times, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
But Karen's attorney says Jen will have a lot to answer for when it's his turn to ask questions, including what time that Google search really happened.
There are more holes in her story than a fishing net.
Reed trial, Jen McCabe was back on the stand. She was with Reed the morning John O'Keefe was found dead. At New at 6, the defense peppered McCabe with questions about calls to O'Keefe that were deleted from her phone. As WBZ's Christina Rex shows us, the questioning was tense from the start.
You're spinning all of this.
Ma'am, I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't spin. There's a judge here to make sure that I don't spin. I'm asking you a question. It's very direct.
That tense and at times hostile back and forth defined the 4 hours of Jen McCabe's cross-examination Tuesday. McCabe was with Karen Reed when they found John O'Keefe's body. She testified that she heard Karen say she hit him. Testimony the defense says has changed over the years. Instead, lawyer Alan Jackson painted Jen as the orchestrator of the narrative told by her family and friends.
Have you spoken to them about these events between then and now?
About this case? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, Ms. McCabe, I'm asking about this case.
Of course I speak to them all the time about the vicious harassment we are all receiving.
Karen Reed's team accused McCabe of an off-the-books meeting with a Canton cop in the days after John's death. And the jury heard for the first time allegations that Jen deleted at least 6 calls she made to John O'Keefe between 12:29 and 12:50 that night.
I believe I used the word butt dials.
You claimed that every one of these calls was a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
Defense lawyers believe those deleted calls could provide reasonable doubt for the jury.
Butt dialing is becoming a thing with the Albert clan. Like, how bizarre is that?
And so you say John was in the house, his phone's missing, she's calling him to find his phone.
That's certainly a reasonable interpretation.
Jennifer McCabe was back on the stand this morning for tense questioning about Google searches that she made and what time she made them on the day Boston police officer John O'Keefe's body was found in the snow. This morning, Karen Reed's lawyers questioned McCabe about the now infamous misspelled Google search she made, "How long to die in cold." She says Reed told her to make those Google searches.
She was screaming, Google hypothermia, how long does it take to die in the cold?
How about?
And I picked up my phone and I started Googling.
In court today, the defense pointed to cell phone data showing the first time McCabe made that search was at 2:27 in the morning, hours before John O'Keefe's body was discovered. Defense attorney Alan Jackson says the timing of the search exonerates Karen Reed and implicates McCabe in O'Keefe's death.
Ms. McCabe, you made that search at 2:27 a.m. because you knew that John O'Keefe was outside in your sister's lawn dying in the cold, didn't you?
Absolutely not. I did not make that search at that time, no.
Did you delete that search because you knew that you would be implicated in John O'Keefe's death if that search was found on your phone?
I did not delete that search. I never made that search at 2:23. I never would have left John O'Keefe out in the cold to die because he was my friend that I loved.
In court filings, the prosecution has said the defense is misinterpreting that cell phone data. Reed's lawyers are trying to convince the jury that McCabe is part of a scheme to frame Reed for O'Keefe's death. Reed is accused of hitting O'Keefe, her boyfriend, with her SUV and leaving him to die in the snow in January 2022.